gangs on him and stuff, and the feds were after him, and there was other people after him, and there's so much shit going on for him that he maybe just couldn't fucking deal with it. And said, fuck it, I'm gonna fake my own death.
Well, I first met Ross 2015. I was year 10 in school.
Tall, intimidating, Russian, speak like quite a heavy Russian accent.
He never used to talk much at all.
All I knew is it was kind of a big drug dealer around here, to be honest.
Just remember Ross being a new kid, really. And then doing drugs. Like, he was like the kid that did drugs.
I always sensed that he was always hiding something.
There's always been rumours about him. You know, I've seen videos of him with like guns, and there was that whole thing that he was like bringing acid to school and like passing it out to people. But yeah, I don't know if any of that's true.
I mean, he sort of like took drugs in the library and like died for a minute there, but he was right. Miss King was like, just leave him, just leave him.
The earliest I remember Ross being on drugs was when we were in year 10, we were in like 14, 15. And he was in maths at the back of the class on like morphine or ketamine or something. And everyone used to be like, Ross, Ross, and our teacher would be like, nah, just leave him, and he'd be like asleep in the back of the class. None of us were ever really close with him, like at all. He was just always there when we used to hang out with the other people that he was friends with.
Well, I kind of knew him from around school, and then kind of started meeting him a bit more when he was talking to one of my other mates, and went to a lot of parties at their house, and he was always there.
To begin with, I didn't really know him at all. He was sort of just in the corner of the room, smoking a bit of pot whilst we were all having a good time. But after that, we sort of grew as mates. Me and him became a lot closer.
When I was friends with Ross, like properly, I never really questioned the fact that he had a very sort of like quiet and not spoken about life outside of when he'd see us. It wasn't really a discussed thing. Like, in all the time I've been friends with him, which is, what, 3 years, I've been inside his home once. But it never seemed too untoward for me. I just thought that some people keep themselves to themselves, so I thought I knew reasonably enough. And he told me a few things about himself, a few personal things about some illness he may or may not have been under. So I thought, reasonably speaking, I could trust what he was saying, but of course that didn't necessarily turn out to be how it would transpire.
He started saying he was in sort of gangs and shit up in London, in Croydon and that. And at first, we all believed him. We all thought it was all real. We thought it was all pretty fucked up shit.
What I was made aware of was Ross was ill with a virus called CMV, which is a strain of the HIV/AIDS virus, and that he also had a Parkinsonian disorder which would be terminal in his brain. Those were the two things I was initially told were the case.
He was going to die in 8 months because he had a terminal illness. The first time anyone heard about Ross being dead was one of his close mates posted on Instagram a picture of him, and it was like, rest in peace, Ross. I don't know. I kind of feel like I was in denial of it the whole time because it was so just unexpectedly someone our age.
Initially, when I heard he died, it was like being shot. That's how I equate the feeling to it being. Yeah, it was fairly soul crushing. I can't lie.
And that he died in Brighton from an overdose. And then I remember going to college the next day and asking one of my friends who lives in Brighton if they heard about this kid who overdosed. Because obviously you'd think something like that would be on the news. And then she was like, no, I didn't hear of it. And then I remember Googling, like, kid dies in Brighton overdose, and then nothing came up.
We all kind of had our suspicions that he wasn't really dead, and we all kind of thought something about this just doesn't make sense.
There was loads of rumours after he died, and people saying they'd seen him and stuff, and I just thought they were being disrespectful. I was like, that's just weird, why would you say that? That's a bit like crossing the line.
About 2 days after he supposedly died, I was driving up towards town to meet some friends, and as I was driving up, I saw Ross walking down the main road at first I saw this figure and I saw him walking like Ross and the 6'3" giant he is, and my heart sort of sunk. I thought, no, it can't be Ross. But as I got closer, I saw him and I actually saw his face and I realised it was Ross.
We had this event which was held at one of my friends' homes as a memory thing, because we all thought it would be what he would have wanted, and it was nice, but it was kind of overshadowed by the fact that not everyone was fully convinced after someone had seen him supposedly that day. So there was a little bit of that feeling that it wasn't really proper.
Then the first time I actually found out he was alive for sure was this guy came up to me and one of my friends and showed us a picture of him that he'd taken with like the date on it and the time. And he was like, guess who I just bumped into? And we were like, okay.
I remember just being like that's mad that he's alive. And then we was like, where's he been for the past like 2-3 months? What has he done with his life?
It was like just an oh shit kind of moment. Like, you don't know what to say. Like, someone our age has actually gone to the extent of faking their own death and coming back.
I think he'd faked his own death because of the amount of gang stuff like he was involved in, the drug selling and the drug using, and the people that he got to know.
He had to run away from some problem in his other criminal side of his life, and I understand that because he was my boy, and regardless of what you do, if you're someone's boy, you're down for them no matter what. So I just thought, yeah, just got to take it as it is. He's come back, that's all I can think of it as. I've not lost someone who I thought I'd lost.
After he faked his death and we all found out that he was still alive, I heard rumours of him moving to America and selling guns, dealing drugs again. I heard the rumour that he killed 2 people, he shot 2 people and stole their car.
Yeah, I heard he booked a flight to America and then just like lived there for a couple months, but who knows. And I also heard that he got to America with like a fake passport and a fake like mask thing, but it just, yeah, Ross.
The problem is, this subject, a lot of it is unanswered material. There's not many things we can concisely say about it.
It's just easy to fake your death now. It's very, easy to sort of make anything spread around. All you got to do is post it once, and then almost everyone knows very, very quickly.
Niggas envy, blicky got the stiffy,